Hello guys, welcome back to Literal TV. The episode 17, I believe this is, recap. Unlocked kind of messed the episode counts up, but subscribe to Literal TV, you're going to have a recap after every single episode. Okay, so today we had the wall comp. I look a little disheveled because, shockingly, I had a nap before this episode, guys. So that's why I look like this. And, yeah, this was a fine episode. I think the problem is when you have wall comp on episodes is it does take up a lot of the episode, and we've already seen it on feeds. I watched it on feeds, and I would hope that some of my loyal supporters out there, aka the 5 views I get, were watching it on feeds. But I have the results pulled up because I haven't talked about this obviously because I don't really do feed content. So I will go through the order, but the episode does open up giving us some extra context on the vote flip, just giving Dee a little bit of credit, and it shows the Red Corner's reactions mainly. I mean, Yash, I believe he knew that the flip was happening, he just wasn't pulled in. But yes, Dee pushing heavily for this, getting her vets on board, and Rick Devens, I think, handles this the best of the three after. He just doesn't really fake his vote. He's just like, yeah, I was told that's the vote. Like, realistically, that should be the way you go about it. But some people aren't having that logic, and I understand why, because it might be more incriminating to them. But I mean, he gets away with not getting a lot of heat on him. Not as much as some people who didn't need this much heat on them for saving Melody. I'm glad Melody's here though. Melodrew, they're my people. So, but I've got a new person. I don't know how to say that one, but we'll get to that later. So, we have Camu, who takes it very well. He is just like, that's Big Brother. And on the feeds as well, he was taking it very well. And I think it made him seem suspicious, which is a shame because I actually respect that, to just be like, it's Big Brother, you're going to play dirty. And I think it does prove Camu is here to play a bit of a dirty game, which, hey, I want to see. And I mean, we'll get into Camu later. There's a lot to say about him. But we move into the wall comp. Obviously, Haley's not competing, so the 12 of the others that aren't out going head to house will compete. And Angela is off in 28 seconds. 28 seconds. And then she's followed by Taylor, who, in a way, kind of gets out of household this week until something happens later, which kind of derails that. Barrett then falls, followed by Devons. Barrett's too long. Barrett is too long. Like, Drew is long, Barrett is long. Like, Devons falls. Dee falls. I thought Dee would survive longer. She has a very, good build for this comp, you'd think, but I think she's a lot more, muscular and built than the other women that usually do well on this comp, which are usually, the very, skinny types, whereas Dee is more of, a jacked type. And then 7th, Melody, and 6th, Mallory, 2 people that you would have thought would do well. Also, 2 people I was rooting for to win this. It was those 2, obviously, Drew. So, in 5th and 4th, you have Chuck and Yash, who 2 people that I Chuck on the feeds was, slipping and sliding for so long. He was slipping and sliding for, 30 minutes before he fell. And so, yeah, I mean, those 2, just, I think Yash is fine. I could see potential there, but Chuck, and then in 3rd place of Drew, he does his little swing. I watched that on feeds. He was going for a while. I was hoping they'd pull the wall back up. They didn't, but Drew, and then it was left to Camo and Latrice, which felt like, obviously Camo's going to win, and we didn't see it on feeds what was going to happen. We had to wait for feeds to come back up, and they do. Latrice is the oldest wall winner, and it's a cool moment. It is cool to see Latrice get this moment because she hasn't really had a big moment so far, and she is someone who is, she's liked in the house on a personal level. On a game level, the problem with Latrice is she isn't really playing the game. And this episode kind of proves she's not necessarily playing the game for herself. So, I mean, Taylor says it outright, I'm playing Big Brother for 2. And I do think Taylor is someone who is probably quite a decent strategist not very good socially, not a very active social player who's on all the time. That's kind of the issue with Taylor for me. But as a strategist, she seems to be on and trying, and I like her a lot more than I did in the early portion of the season. I'm going to be honest, right? The only person I don't really care for Latrice or Yash, but like the only person that actually I'm like get him out is like Chuck. Like come on, or Cook. That's what Dante calls him, who was on our draft earlier in the season. If you saw that, so yeah, we have Latrice win because Camus slips, and she's immediately talking about getting the red corner. The red corner on the outs after that eviction, and they are the people are looking at. There's also talks of doing Rick Devons, and there's talks of putting up Drew and Barrett, these two that are seen as kind of like rat floater types. And the main idea that gets brought up is this Haley backdoor, which here's my thing with Haley. I think Haley is such an unlikable person on the show. She is so entertaining. She is so moody. She is so hateful. And I think that is incredible television. This casting team this year did an amazing job. I think there are some amazing people on here. There's also some like catastrophic flops, like a Chuck. It kind of, I don't know, Barrett I go 50-50 on. Sometimes I really like Barrett. Sometimes I'm like, come on. Like last week was not good for Barrett. He was pissing me off. But yeah, and this seems like the plan is going to be to do Drew, Barrett, and Camus as a pawn, and then get Haley on the back door. And then we go see Mallory gets the time capsule, which was revealed on Unlocked, but we didn't see what she got off that. We just saw it on feeds, and she gets the Adam and Eve punishment, which it's kind of a shame she didn't get a power. But I'm not like Mallory's probably like my 4th or 5th favorite, so it's like maybe 5th, probably 5th, and so it's like sorry. I mean, I think she is going to be a very light presence on the show, but her and Melody are tied together, and this punishment didn't get much screen time. Like, the punishments usually get a lot of screen time, especially one that's only 48 hours. But there was a lot to show this episode, with the wall spending about 30 minutes of the episode up. This is precious Big Brother episode time right here. So, after this, Camus gets word he might be a nominee. So he first goes to Taylor, and he says to Taylor, like, Chuck said he was going to nominate Latrice. And then we see Camus and Darren, like, I think he said it at one point. I love that. I really liked Camus this episode. And on feeds, like, I've not actually been watching the feeds. I've been reading feed updates. I've been really liking what Camus been doing this week. I'm going to be honest. And I will never fault anyone for not liking Camus or not enjoying Camus on the show, because they don't like where he stands out of the show. But for me, his gameplay is very entertaining, and I will always reiterate, don't support his views outside the show. I'm a huge supporter of the homosexuals, but he did an immaculate job this episode, and I've been really enjoying his presence. I think he's a great villain, but that's what he is. He's a villain, and he owns it a little bit. He owns it slightly in that DR. I don't know yet, but he is. He's going to Taylor, and Taylor's like, I see him as a man of faith. He didn't say that, but she's like, we have the same beliefs or something, or we have the same faith, and I don't know. And then Taylor puts in a good word to Latrice. Then Camus goes along, talks to Latrice, and he gets Chuck and Haley on the block alongside Barrett again, and gets that as a direct nomination, and that gets him off the block. He doesn't have to worry for the week. He's like in this really safe spot now. He's built some amazing trust with Latrice, and I'm just very impressed with this. I think that he really needed to divert, because the red corner was a sinking ship. It was a sinking ship, and to stick with that group would be a huge mistake. And wow, I'm very impressed. And he's been trying to make some inward paths on feed as well with some other people. I don't know. I'm very, very interested to see where Cameron goes from here. I want to see a new group. I don't really care for the red corner as a three. I think Haley's fun as an individual. I think Cameron's fun as an individual. Chuck, Chuck, Chuck might be one of the most boring casting decisions in a long time. It's a shame that he is the only black male on the cast, because like, we had some great representation since the mandates and everything came in. I don't know what happened with those mandates here, but Chuck was not good representation. He was not. So it's a shame. But also the one gig I've been out. This is not a diverse season, but this could be a good week. This could be a good week where we get a boot out that isn't necessarily that much of a loss, while also getting some fun game moments that spice it up. I'm really liking this week. I think this season is ramping up, and it's possibly going to be a great. We'll see though. It might also be a total flop, but people saying it's a bad season. It was the worst season in so long. Guys, dead ass. Like 27, incredible season. 26, very great season. 25, like, that season had like 6 great weeks and then it sucked. And I love 25 as a season still, because I love some of the people on there, and I love what Izzy, I love what Heisem, I really liked Matt, everyone loved Suri. I loved what these people brought. I liked Riley as well, but on 25, not on 27, don't get it twisted. And like, guys, let this season breathe. Give it a chance, because I think this week has been very entertaining so far. Seeing what happens on feeds, I think there's some fun stuff coming up, and there's some drama. And it should be in next episode, which I'm excited about, because I don't watch the feed clips much at the moment, and I'm kind of enjoying that. I feel like hearing about them but not seeing it is like such a different experience. Yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of busy. Kind of like wifed up right now. So yeah, but anyway, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for a recap after every episode, and Literal Games Live, our own reality show on this channel, comes out every Saturday. Subscribe to the channel, watch that. It's been a load of fun to make, and see you all later. Bye.